guitar music.
That music
there.
reminded me of F-Zero, man. Did you ever play F-Zero?
Yeah, dude, all the time.
Yeah,
or like
that music was pretty sick.
Reminds me of Guilty Gear a little bit too. You ever play those fighting games? I don't know.
I played some of that.
Well, here we go, guys. Belshire Beach. It's more like Belshire Christmas Beach on the left side of the map, or Winter Beach, depending on what you celebrate. It is our red Zerg from the Team Slayers. It is Slayers CoCa. So you need some hot CoCa for this map.
So, I know. It's like it's Kwanzaa time at Belshire Beach. Like
Kwanzaa Beach. All right, on the right side of the map is our blue Protoss player. Why do you do this to me? I'm trying to introduce the players. It is FXO Oz. What was that commercial from like a year or two? Chris Mahana Kwanzaa?
I don't know. I don't know about that, man.
Holidays rolled into one, I guess. Well, whatever you happen to celebrate, we can all celebrate that this map looks awesome now.
This map does look awesome now. I'm actually really happy with what's done to it. What's been done to it, rather. I'm just skipping words today, man. I'm like, this is necessary. I'm like trying to tweet my phrases. I'm like, I can just cut some words out here and there. No one will really notice. People are just looking for the important facts.
Articles, pronouns, we don't need them.
Nah.
This is StarCraft
Forget about it.
Just say Marine Imba over and over again. There you go. But looks like a Forge Expand from FXO Oz, as we can see there. And, I think it's actually a little bit easier to do that on this map now than it was before.
Yeah, of course. And even the original Belshire is harder than that.
Yeah.
So it's just it's been shaped a little bit to help the Protoss players out.
Molded.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen actually, I think, as far as I know, every time a Protoss player tried to fast expand against a Zerg in this way last time in All-In, and the Zerg player decided All-In, I don't think Protoss ever held it. Maybe once. I mean, if July Zerg did it, of course no one ever held it. But like, besides that...
That's right.
When July Zerg All-In's a player that's better than him, he always wins for some reason. Have you noticed that?
He does. It's because of the July 2nd. Haven't I explained to you the concept of July 2nd?
Why don't you explain that to everyone for those who don't know?
All right. Well, July Zerg's not playing this game, but I'll do it really quick anyway. The July 2nd is the moment in every game July Zerg plays where a switch goes off in his brain and he realizes that if he goes all in right at that second, he'll win the game. He's the only player in StarCraft 2, or maybe any game ever made, any video game ever made, or any game in the history of mankind ever made, that has been able to identify the exact second in every game where he can win.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can't always follow through.
It takes Pult about 3 seconds sometimes, and Marine King, I think he has like this period of time where he's got about 20 seconds where he's like, I'm not really sure. And he grabs some of his SCVs, he's like, I think so. And he's like, okay, and he goes.
Well, you see,
this is the fastest lair I've ever seen, man.
That's awesome. I like it.
And he's taking double gases immediately. This is the CoCa we've seen before. It's super fast, faster CoCa, I think.
Well, some players, speaking of All-In, some players have that second predetermined before they even start the game, Wolf. So that's another style of doing it, I guess. But yeah, really fast lair. Stargate from Oz. Not something that he does a whole lot.
Yeah, this is actually not a very common build for us to do. He really likes to go down the Twilight tech path. And of course, his old ID was Twilight when he first joined StarCraft.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Is that actually
He actually really likes the Twilight tech. He likes Dark Templar a lot. And
what about regular Templar?
I guess he likes them. I don't know.
It's Twilight tech.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
I guess.
Fast Spire on the way, and I don't know. I mean, this is really interesting. Really, really fast Spire, and that Void Ray is not going to be able to do too much if there's going to be Corruptors and Mutalisks out. I've got to imagine that CoCa's just going for fastest Mutalisk possible, He makes like a dozen Mutalisks, and Oz isn't ready for it. That's just the end of the game right there.
Yeah, this is a really weird build. I've not seen something like this. Normally when you do a build like this, you have to make a bunch of spines. But in this case, since his opponent went for this type of fast expand, he was able to... Oh, that's the saddest overseer I've ever seen.
Yeah, but it's a happy overseer too, because he knows what Oz is doing, and he's like, alright, this is awesome, I can actually just make Mutalisks.
Yeah, and anyway, in this case, since he went for a super fast expand, he knows that there's not going to be like that 6-gate timing, or that 4-gate timing even after the fast expand. Like, sometimes with a 3-gate center expand, you can make a 4th gateway and then you just hit with nice timing. But in this case, of course, CoCa has nothing like that to worry about, and he doesn't even have to make spines at this point, man.
He's making a couple Corruptors, alright. Unfortunately, they're the Mutas. Okay.
Wants to be able to make sure that his Mutas have Corruptors to accompany them because of the Phoenixes.
That is true. And that Phoenix is like, wait, sees the Spire. And so now Oz is in that weird position where he's like, all right, well, this is different. What do I do?
Yeah, this is a very different situation. A lot of sentiment being made here.
Oh, okay. Well, sentries do help quite a bit against Mutalisk damage.
Very true.
Definitely reduces the damage that the bounce from the glaive worms
You can just
does.
see this is very weird. You know, this build has not been completely fleshed out. He's like making a few corruptors, making a few moves. He has very few. He's not able to put pressure on them. That's how low the Mutalisk count is. So he's kind of sacrificed a lot of gas and a lot of mining to where he doesn't have a third base. He's stuck with 2 base mutas, and Oz already has. You know, he's got total scouting information of what's going on. He's been able to kill overlords even. He's got total control, man.
All right. So what's nice for Oz is with that many sentries out too, he can actually push across the map later on if he keeps them alive.
And look at that, there's no spines, man, and he knows it. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
He's actually going to just start making more and more gateway units and just attack.
Exactly.
This is a really weird build from CoCa, and I actually,
look at this.
I can see that he has not fully fleshed this out yet. He actually is not quite sure of what he's doing. None of the decisions he's making are crisp or really make sense.
This is really kind of allowing Oz to show off his skills too. I mean, just to be like, all right, I know exactly what to do when I see this, even though it's something that you haven't seen very much.
It's just like you were saying, man. He's just going to push out and attack with those sentries and kept them alive. And I mean, he's like, well, for some reason you seem to have no units and you have a bunch of corruptors that can help fight my phoenixes that I don't really care about. I'm just going to kill you.
Yep. Guardian Shield comes up. It's going to take forever for those mutas to kill the ground units, and CoCa is in serious trouble right now. Really huge trouble. And those corruptors are not going to help too much once the Mutalisks are dead. And it looks like Oz, depending on how this goes here, may be able to actually win the game right here.
Oh, I absolutely think he can, man. This is just...
It's a drone rodeo. He's hurting him back behind the mineral line. I rope him some drones.
This is actually the least textbook game I've ever seen. This is not a game that I would tell my friends to watch to learn about how Pro versus Zerg is played.
No. This is a game you would tell your friends to watch to be like, look how well Oz responds to seeing strange things.
Yeah.
GG.
That's it.
Wow. And I liked CoCa's build. It was very unique, very cool, but FXO Oz, just way too good to fall for stuff like this. I like what we were talking about. I think he's going to take the group, man.
Well, that build from CoCa was just very clearly not fleshed out. I was looking at that and I was like, the decisions he's making are a little bit strange. He's like, well, now I'm going to make 2 corruptors. I only made 1 muta. It's like, wait.
Well, with seeing that, I thought he was just basically going to be going all in, where he's just going to be like, I'm going to save up, make like a dozen mutas and just go. You know, I'm going to hit him when he's not expecting it and do so much damage that it doesn't matter that I stop making drones for a while. That's what I was kind of expecting. And then he was kind of like, well, I'll make a couple corruptors. And then it's like, oh, but I need some of this. It's, oh, I need a few of these. And then it's like, well, suddenly you're all in is just kind of...
We had no ground units. He had no spines. Normally when you do that fast meter play, you just have to make a lot of spines so you can hold those attacks.
Yes, exactly.
And he just didn't do either, man. He made a few moves. He made corruptors to help deal with the phoenixes. And he was like, oh, well, I guess I didn't plan on you going Stargate. He's like,
Yeah, well, it's like